everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope that you are having an awesome day and you've had a very blessed week. If it's been a struggle this week, guess what? Today you can still turn that around. And today can be amazing and carry that energy into tomorrow. I tell you what won't help your day is to scroll through Facebook or other social media and compare yourself to other people. That is never a winning strategy. So I'd encourage you, don't do that. Instead, take massive action. And if you're not going to take massive action to turn your practice around or your business around, then please go do something fun and really elevate your energy and elevate this life that you have created. I'm excited to have Michael Tokash with me today. He has been so faithful to be in my audience all the time when I do Facebook Live or comment on my posts and stuff. And so I'll tell you, I don't know him personally. We've gotten to know each other through Facebook and through messages. And he had mentioned in one of his comments, like, you've helped me so much. And so I was like, well, I want to know more about that. Like, anytime we help somebody. And so I said, let's jump on a Facebook Live. Now, why am I telling this to all of you? I'm telling this to you because when you go live and you learn about people, you don't have to have all of the answers, right? Like, I think it's really, really important for us to just step out. Like, if you noticed at the beginning of the week, I posted some artwork that Ben and I purchased on Sunday, and we didn't know the artist, but when he came over and dropped off the chair and the bench, we got to know him and got to know his story and then invited him to stay the night. And so I just think in life that it's so important to capitalize on those opportunities. So it's not just being in the right place at the right time. It's being prepared and being willing to open your heart. So Michael, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Dr. Barbara, how you doing?
I'm well.
Good to be here. When I got the phone call, so I know you're very humble. I don't know who you really think you are, but you are such an inspiration to everybody. Absolutely. I mean, you dedicate your time. You know, it's all about chiropractic, not about the dollars and the profits, about helping this whole big community. And the great thing is, I came from orthopedics, hospitals, right? From that marketplace, nothing like chiropractic. No support, you know. It has become a big family, and people like you have brought this all together. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I have an amazing team.
So I've been on a big journey, started 3 years ago, and doctors have taken me on this journey with me. But, with Facebook and learning what you teach to chiropractors, I used in my business. I mean, 3 years, I went from a $1.5 million company to a $5 million company. Okay? Absolutely. Right?
That's awesome. Congratulations.
And it doesn't mean that, it just means I got through the country. I went from the Northeast to the South to the West Coast now. It's just unbelievable. Chiropractic rocks. It's going to be another great one. I know you're going to be there.
Yep.
Things like that. But when I watch you, I learn. And you're teaching these chiropractors how to be business people, businessmen, business women. And the women chiropractors, they're rocking it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I just joined the women on the WDC because I want to support them. So it's great. So
that's awesome.
Your phone call was like a phone call coming from the Vice President of the United States. We want to talk to you personally. It's like, I'm telling you, you took me, this is like the top of the mountain. I got to jump on another one.
Oh, well, that's really sweet. And I appreciate you saying all those things. And I really appreciate you taking like what you're watching in the Facebook Live and putting it into action. And I couldn't put everything on the title, but my title for today was, are you an active participant in your growth, or are you just sitting on the sidelines? And so Michael proved that you can take what you're learning and instead of it just kind of like, being downloaded into your brain or onto your computer, taking one step and applying it and taking another step and applying it. So he's taken what he's watched on Facebook Live. And just as a disclaimer, Mike and I are not coaching together, just so that everyone knows. I don't want to be misleading, right? And taking what he's learning here and applying it to go from 1.5 million to 5 million. And that's not easy to do. Like to double almost triple his business in 3 years in the 7 million, in the 7-figure mark is very, very difficult. So can we jump in more as to what have been like the top 3 things that you've watched me talk about that you've applied?
Well, you know what? Something that sticks right in my mind yesterday. I watched you and you had a chiropractor on there that has books, children's books. That's huge. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, pediatrics, right? So when I look at my business, I'm thinking, what other avenues can I go that I can actually support, okay, that would help the community of chiropractors, right?
Nice.
And when I see something like that would be one of the things I saw. I think it's more being honest. I think one of the other big things are going to be is that every one of my clients, every chiropractor that I have has become my salesperson. And what you teach is every patient is actually your salesperson.
Yes.
Right? They're going to bring you in new business, right? That's like probably the biggest takeaway. And I brought that in my business. That I treat everybody like they're number one. And they should be number one.
Yes.
Right? That's, I think, one of the big takeaways I find from you. You give everybody your personal attention, right?
Thank you for saying that.
Takeaway. So they're kind of things that really help. And I'm thinking, I got to be like her. If she's doing this, she's killing it. You gotta model somebody that's really a winner, right? Well, here she is.
Yeah, that's really true, is to choose your mentors wisely. And I know when I choose my mentors, a couple of things I look at are for sure, like, who are they really? Right? Like I want to see their personal life. I want to see their professional life. And is there consistency in their message? Right. And so that's hopefully what you've seen too, is like, I'm always saying the same thing. Like, I build badass female chiropractors who are instinctively successful. And I get so, like, honestly, I have just been on a high this week because I've had so many boot campers share with me their success, even just in 2019, the things that they're doing, like the Facebook Live I did yesterday with Dr. Robin. I mean, here she is. She's been in practice for 10 years, and it's easy at that time to really just post. And she had a good practice, and she has 10x'd her practice since August.
Wow.
10x'd her practice since August. And
I saw her yesterday. I was watching her yesterday. That's huge.
That is just so exciting.
You know what the big thing is? Having people like you, chiropractors like you, that care, right? And that are teaching all the time. You're not looking for a pat on the back. You're looking to take this whole big community to another level, right? And you're doing that. You're absolutely doing that. You're taking me to another level, right? And all these things really are so important. Support. I could never see an orthopedic doctor support another orthopedic doctor. It just doesn't happen. So what I see is when you are teaching or you're discussing with other chiropractors, I think the real important takeaway is they got to support. Other medical communities don't have any support at all. Yeah. Your time and effort, you're very valuable, right? And you're on here just trying to teach chiropractors how to be successful. I just don't even know how to explain. I've seen some other, coaches out there and doing things very special, but I follow you all the time because I just see that success. I mean, the smile is like beautiful. It's like, that's what I want to do. I want to smile all the time. So, and I think you're making the whole community start smiling.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
You're setting them up in the right way to do a practice, how to become successful. That's so important. And there's no support out there for any other organization. And, going to shows like Chiropractic Rocks, it's going to be a big show.
Yeah.
They're going to rock it.
Yeah. So, look at my puppy.
Oh, there you go.
This is Bella. And for those of you who know Bella, and for everyone who's with me,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. That's my girl. So I want to emphasize something here, that the boot camp is, yes, we're all very supportive of one another. But just cheering each other on isn't enough, right? It can't be,
right.
Success isn't just an emotional experience. It's not just I'm motivated, but what it is they're motivated to take action on the training that they're given, right? So like the boot camp is extremely comprehensive. There are 25 topics ranging from mindset to, I couldn't even tell you how many hours of marketing, whether it's marketing inside your office in terms of communication, or marketing inside your office in terms of events that you do in your office, and the how-tos. And so something that I think is so incredible about the boot camp is for the most part, in my experience, I haven't seen chiropractors, even within a group, really and truly cheer one another on like we do in the boot camp. Like the boot campers themselves created a Dropbox, and in the Dropbox, everybody just shares their stuff. Like, let's say that I did a women and wellness event and I'm in the boot camp. I just put all of it in the Dropbox for another chiropractor to use. Or let's say I recreated some forms on my office. They just put them in the Dropbox for their other boot campers to use. That's or great. A manual or contracts, or, I mean, it's really and truly individuals who've locked arms from all over the world and said, I believe in you and I can help you. And I'm so proud of the tribe that has been assembled in the boot camp, of just really tapping into their optimum potential and loving the life that they've created. So I thank you so much for recognizing how awesome they are, and being a part of it too, because you encourage me every time I'm on Facebook Live and I see your comments, or I see you in the audience, or like Kat is on here and she's so faithful at showing up, and it's just an encouragement. So let's dive into your business. Obviously, you've gone in 3 years from 1.5 million to 5 million, which is huge. So listen, everybody, listen up. This guy is taking what he's learning and applying it. And I know, again, one of the reasons that you're successful is you genuinely care about chiropractors and the decisions that they're making. So let's talk about, what are you doing with that hammer that you showed me just before we got online?
So what I like to do is I like to educate. Right? That's what it's all about, education, right? Making them go in the right direction, being recognized by the medical community as being very professional. The thing I get is you're doctors, you're chiropractors, right? You're a doctor, right? The other professions never really recognize that, right? So I think you need to respect, you need to gain the right equipment, the right tools. So, that's kind of what I bring. I try and make a whole turnkey when I sell a piece of equipment. And even if I don't sell it, doctor, I just try and educate them. If you want to buy from somebody else, just let me see what you're buying. Let me tell you what you're buying, right? And that's kind of where the hammer came in, and where this box is coming from, okay? So
I want to stop for just a second. And that is the first, please listen to me, all of you. The first person who has to respect you and accept you is yourself. So if you're feeling like you're less than somebody else, or you're comparing yourself to someone else, please understand the only comparison game is the one in the mirror. Being honest with yourself. And typically I find when we want to be respected by whether it's medical doctors or somebody else, it's because there's something inside of us that we don't feel like we're doing enough, or that we are of enough value. So please take the time to identify in your own life, where do you feel like you're not of value, and just be honest. And if it's, I don't make as much money, all right, then get help earning a bigger paycheck, right? There's money everywhere. There's an abundance of money everywhere. And when you provide value, significant value, and you have the systems to capitalize on that value that you provide, you will have an abundance of cash right here. But you have to provide value and have that bridge across that makes it that you can be an even exchange with individuals who are paying you for this value. So what we're talking about in terms of being accepted by the medical profession, I think more is not being recognized, because who cares, honestly, if they accept us, but being of high professional, being professionals in our marketplace. Is that fair to say, Michael?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Well, before I get there, one of the other things that really brings my attention is, so I have 7 adult children, 14 grandchildren. Okay?
Congratulations.
Do you know only one of them takes their children to a chiropractor? With all the experience and knowledge I have and what I convince them to do. So I think we're only touching it. I mean, chiropractors haven't even touched the patients that could be coming in. I mean, things are just flying now, but I don't even see an end of it. It just keeps on going. So I think we got to educate people to believe in chiropractic care. You know, I know it's word of mouth and just keeps on continuing. Now my other son's going to take my other grandkids to a chiropractor. Yeah, so it just keeps on going and going. And when they go, I just want to make sure that chiropractor has the nice looking office. You know, you got to be presentable. You can't have paneling on the wall, a couple old ripped tables. You need a staff. You need to invest, right? That's what you're saying. Invest in the boot camp will help you get there, right?
Yeah.
So they got to invest in their office and their personnel. That was another thing that brought my attention when you said about name a couple things. My personnel, they're only as good as me.
Yes.
Right? I got to hold it all, right? So I give out bonuses or you know, you come in with a lead and you help the business grow, right. Then I reward you, right? Some are getting rewarded a lot, some are getting rewarded nothing. You know, so it's hard to replace someone once they've been there for a while, but as owners, they have to go ahead and look at their staff and evaluate them all the time. They're representing you, right? Yeah. Absolutely, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was another takeaway I had from you. Mm-hmm.
So let me show you something just a second.
Sure.
So this book was written by my coach, Rich Christensen. And if any of you struggle with hiring the right people, like you feel like, man, I just like a revolving door. The challenge is probably that you don't have a framework to evaluate the people that you meet. Like you don't have like a filter system in order to determine are they in or they out. And so this book, page 75 and 76, I promise you will really help you. And what it is it's a list of attributes and characteristics. And so one way to really sharpen who you're hiring and even determine if the people who you have now are the right fit for your team. Like Michael was just talking about, like sometimes we have somebody on our team and just because they've been there lots of years, we keep them. If they're not acting as your partner, right? Like they have a vested interest in your business. Like number one, you have to ask yourself, did I do everything that I could to train them, to support them, and to do what I could for them to act as a partner? And then if you have, then you have to ask yourself if they're a right fit. So I'm real quickly, like you can get this book on Amazon. It would be worth it for you to buy it. And then I'm going to teach you how to use this value assessment on 75 and 76 super fast. So what you would do is you would take the top 3 people. And if you typically are going to hire a female for that job, so as chiropractors, for the most part, we have CAs who are females. So you take the top 3 women that you have respect for, that you would consider your mentor, that you look up to. And let's say one of them is Mary. So you would go through page 75 and 76 and put an M next to all the characteristics that Mary has, right? And then let's say the other one is Joanne. Then you would put a J next to all those characteristics. And let's say the other one is Sarah. So then you put an S next to, and then you just simply go through and look at the characteristics and which characteristics have the most letters next to them. And then you take the top 10 and those become the values by which you're going to hire your team and keep your team. And this book in that chapter really walks you through how to have a value-based decision-making which makes your life so much easier.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The knowledge that you had that you're passing on, it's priceless.
Oh,
right?
you're sweet. Thank you.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm going out and buying that book right now.
It's so good. This book is so good. And I just want to give you a huge shout out. Like, look at all my notes. When I read books, I take tons and tons of notes. And many times I'll have people's names in it. Like, I'll be like, oh, I got to tell this one to Sheree. Or, oh my gosh, this is like so good for this person. And then I'll send them a screenshot, like a picture of that part.
Right.
All right, so go ahead. Let's talk about the hammer.
Okay, so in radiology, there was a thing called the CCD. It was a charge coupled device, and it was a camera installed in the box, and that's how radiology started out with digital X-ray. Okay. And this is actually the camera that was in the digital X-ray. Okay. It's a 40 meg high-end camera. Okay. And this was acceptable in radiology. So someone came out with a great idea. It's too expensive for chiropractors. They couldn't spend $40,000. So what can we do to get them into digital at $20,000? Okay. And that's why I have this box here. Shannon, can you come over and turn this for me? So, I don't sell this product. Okay. I sell 2020 or biokinemetrics. Okay. Because that's the digital systems that should be sold. So what I want to do is I want to show you. Actually, I've been loving to do this. I bought this for $1,000, this system.
All right, so wait a second. Let's just have perspective of what are we looking at right now? What is your hammer resting on, and what is the thing behind it?
So if you had an X-ray system, you would be shooting this. This would be your wall bucky.
Okay.
You're going to shoot your wall bucky. Once you shoot this, the signal is going to go to a computer, and the computer is going to bring the image up. Okay. Right now, we're doing a flat panel with all electronics in it. That's what 2020 sells and biokinemetrics, right? Okay. And this is what a few companies were selling. I bought this from a chiropractor for $1,000, and he asked me what I was going to do with it. I told him one day I'm putting it on Facebook. He said, "Please don't tell them that you bought it from me." So. All
right. So just for perspective,
this is what's in there. A Canon camera. Dr. Barber, they're paying $20,000 for this system, and this is what the heart of the whole system is. It's an off-the-shelf camera, right? So this snapshots your panel, okay, and then gives you an image. But the thing is with this is it goes out of focus, right? But it's a $1,000 item.
All right, so let's do like a checklist. So if you're in the market for buying digital X-ray, one of the questions you want to ask is what camera is used in the bucky? Is that fair?
And if it does say camera, then you don't want to buy it.
Okay.
Right?
So a check thing would be like, what is there a camera that's used in the bucky system?
Yeah.
Right?
See, they don't know. They don't even know what they're buying. Right. No one even wants to tell them what's inside this box.
Right.
But this is what's in the box. So, tape, black electrical tape. It's very cheap, but it's expensive, right? And it doesn't give you good quality. If I brought this into radiology, the radiologist would throw me out because the image would be so poor. Okay. But the doctors don't know they're buying it, right? They're buying from someone.
I have a question for you. Do you have a know what you're buying checklist, like a cheat sheet that we could provide to anyone who's watching this so that when they go to buy a system or they have a system that they can have a checklist of like, it has this, it doesn't have this, it has this, it doesn't have this. Because here's the deal, like as chiropractors and as, any business professional, or anything in life, they're basically 4 levels of learning. There's unconscious incompetence, which is, I don't even know what I don't know. Then there's conscious incompetence, which is, I know, I have no idea. Then there's conscious competence, which is I know that I know that I know. And then there's mastery. So in something like this, like we wouldn't even know. We would buy the sales pitch, which hopefully is all about the benefits. But in this case, we actually really need to know the features too, but we don't even know what questions to ask.
Right. So the only thing I can say is when I get somebody on the phone, you know, and I'm out there. I mean, a lot of chiropractors know who I am. You know, I get chiropractors calling me. They're telling them, look, call Michael, right? And that's what it is. I can only educate you if I can talk to you, right? This is a big education right now because this has got the word out to a lot of chiropractors. They didn't know what was in their box, right? And now they do. So they wouldn't make that decision to buy something like this next time or in the future. So this is really getting out to chiropractors. But the only way I can give you a checklist, that would be like someone calling you, right? If they called you, Dr. Barber, then you could tell them everything you know, right? But there's nothing out there. It's salespeople. It's whatever companies can sell because they can only sell that product. So chiropractors need to go to a big, legitimate company. And I think when I see Everest, Level Up, Close for Chiro, or even you, when you advise somebody to do something, that's what they should do. They should go to whoever they're advising to go to, their support, because they have a track record and they know what good products are, right? This product is just right? And it kind of gives the chiropractor back to that bad position, that bad name of not really going quality, right? Because chiropractors now are all quality.
All right, so here's a question from a new doc. Hey, Alyssa, it's so good to see you. So when we are looking to buy for a new practice, how would we know what to look for when purchasing a machine? That's what I'm getting at. So in the boot camp, I'll tell you, I never, ever, and Alyssa, you can back me up on this. I don't say do it because I said so. I would rather teach doctors, this is how to make the decision. This is how to implement the system. Like teaching them how to think and how to evaluate. And that's why she's asking this question. Like, how do I know? How do I know what to look for? If I want this, how do I know this product is going to do that? So when purchasing a new machine, what are the things to ask the salesperson so that they get the right fit, so that they get the right X-ray machine that is going to give them phenomenal films?
Correct. So
how do you do that?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up with a checklist and I'll post it. Okay? That's my easy answer. You know, I do get a lot of phone calls. Now, there's a lot of companies out there selling, 2020. If you see 2020, you know that's a great product. Biokinemetrics, great product, right? The rest of them kind of dabble in chiropractic, but these guys are dedicated to chiropractic, right? So that's one of the things, but I'm going to come up with a checklist. I'll come up with something, I'll post it, and then at least they have some guidelines to go by. Yeah. I don't want every sale, right? I just want to make sure they buy the right thing, right?
All right, so I'm going to give you some coaching.
Okay.
All right. So again, like she just posted, research for yourself and learn what you need to know versus just being told. So your checklist for docs and students needs to be, how do they go from, I don't even know what I don't know, to I know that I don't know, to I know that I know that I know. I know that I know that I know that this is going to be a good product for me, because it does this and 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 it has these things, right? So for instance, that Bucky, okay, it has a camera. Well, what questions do I ask in order to determine, is it a camera off the shelf or is it something that's specifically designed to do this? Because when I send the films that I take to a medical doctor, or I share them with a practice member, or I do whatever, they're the highest quality, so they represent my brand. Yeah, do you follow me? Right. So make sure on this checklist as well that it would say camera. Like, All right, here's
Right.
what you want to ask about the image that's taken. Is it this? 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 Right? Like, so for instance, like with the boot camp, if you're joining a group coaching membership-based coaching program, one of the things to make sure you ask is, what kind of access do I have with you, the coach? Do you follow me? Like, that's a great question. So in the boot camp, you get face-to-face with me every single Wednesday in a live group coaching, and I answer every question that anyone poses. So you get me face-to-face every single week as part of your membership. You get me in the Facebook group every single day, answering questions, providing help. You know, in the boot camp, it's content that's all been created since 2017 and newer. It's not old stuff I'm trying to package. Do you see what I'm saying? So make sure your checklist really and truly speaks to the doctor so that they have confidence when they're buying something that, hey, I trust Barbara, she trusts Michael, and this is what Michael says to look for. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. You know, there's a lot of red flags, keywords, right? Like CCD or megapixels. You know, a lot of these companies are trying to hide what they're selling, right? Just because they don't want you to know what it really is, because they can't sell the better products, right? And there's a lot of red flags and names and words that I can put on that list that will throw a flag up right away, and they'll know.
So on your check, go into details about why are megapixels either important or unimportant, and what level should that be? The CC, whatever thing that you just said, what does that mean, and how does that contribute to a good quality film or a poor quality film? So really use the checklist too to educate the doctor so they're confident in the decision that they're making. That's great. Yeah, I'm working on it right away. That'll be fantastic. I love projects. You just gave me a project to do. There you go. And so if you're watching this and you don't have my endless referrals checklist and you really want to increase your referrals in your office, you're going to want to get that. It's 56daychirobootcamp.com/referrals. It's a free checklist, referral cheat sheet. I am huge on referrals. Anyone in the boot camp can tell you. We have 10, not one, we have 10 ways to stimulate referrals every single day in our practices. And in the cheat sheet, I go into how do we do that, and what are the best tools and strategies, and how do we ask for referrals. Referrals is never like, hey, Michael, you know, you're doing really good in my office, so why don't you give these cards to somebody? No, a referral conversation provides value to the individual that you're talking to, so that they can have the confidence when they're talking about their experience in your office with the person that they're talking to, whether it's a neighbor or a family member, or it's somebody at work, that we give them tools also so that they feel really good about talking about chiropractic with others. That's great. That's great. I love it. That's perfect. So Michael, let me ask you this. Is there a special offer that anyone who watches this now or later that you can provide for them as a result of being in the boot camp or watching this Facebook Live? See, we're always on the same page. I don't know why. So I thought about that already. If anybody uses the code 2223, four simple numbers, 2223, I will get the manufacturer to give them $1,000 rebate, and I'll also match the $1,000. And my margin is very low. I beat everybody's price anyway, but I just want to get you to where you need to be. That's going to blow people away. And so what is the best way for them to get in touch with you? So my cell phone, 610-812-3079. I always love it to be personal. My phone is on 24/7. I cover from, East Coast to West Coast. So 5 o'clock on West Coast time, right? I'm on weekend. I have my own tech support department. That's big, right? Because I could talk to them about warranties. There's so many hidden things that they're buying, and they just don't know about it,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
My phone number, Barbara, that's the best way, doctor.
Okay, perfect. So when we get done with this, will you please in the comment section put your link to website,
Sure.
your cell phone number,
Absolutely.
and all of you, if you have questions. So if they have questions about the unit they currently have, can they call you and talk about the unit they currently have?
You know what I tell them? What I tell all the chiropractors that I talk to? Just consider me being your consultant. Okay? No charge consultant. And then if I make a sale, fine. If I don't make a sale, at least they know what they're going to buy, and it's not a big surprise for them. Absolutely.
Nice. I love that. Thanks so much. I want to read Tiffany. So Tiffany is doing amazing in the boot camp. I'm so proud of her. And she's definitely one she just gives, man. Like anything that a boot camper needs, she's happy to help support them and happy to help them. And Tiffany, just like, I love and appreciate you so much. So she said, I trust in the boot camp so much that I actually bought the Insight CLA just because of all the great info in the boot camp before I even watched David's week of videos. And a huge shout out to CLA and Dr. David Fletcher. He has contributed week 17 content, which is all about certainty and confidence, and really grabbing hold of how do I share chiropractic care with my community, and then bringing into that the certainty with the insight. And so he's in there answering questions all the time too. And I just thank you so much. And Tiffany just said, you know what, I know this is something that I need, and I'm going to invest in it for my practice and my practice members. So Tiffany, congratulations. So please, each one of you, get in touch with Michael. Michael, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for all of the encouragement and support that you give me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
I'm thanking you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Hey, thanks everyone. If you would, please just take 2 seconds and share this video if it's been of help to you or someone that you potentially think would benefit. Just right now, click share, and I'll say thanks to you in advance of doing that. Make it an amazing day. I love and appreciate you. Happy Valentine's Day. Make sure, even if you're in a tiff with somebody that you're in a loving relationship with, put that aside today and tell them I love you, and then tell them why you love them. I love you because, and let's just make at least wise today this world a better place, because we're willing to set differences aside and love on those around us. Thanks everyone. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.